with Africa and beyond. Traders and seafarers exported goods to the outside world and returned to these shores with the stories of their age. The modern state of Puntland was forged on a social contract between the communities that inhabit these regions of Somalia in 1998. That historic conference produced an accord which birthed the federal state of Puntland, a state which became the first federal state of Somalia. We have come a long way since then, making great strides along the way and marked inordinate milestones toward legitimate governance. Today, the state is 15 years young, and its institutions are gently proceeding past the incubation age, the incubation stage. The free and fair elections staged on the 8th of January and the peaceful transfer of office stands as a testament to the progress of this state, but we still have a long way to go. Let me outline the wider issues at hand for Puntland today. The unity of Puntland state is consecrated. The communities that make up the state of Puntland today stand divided on certain issues. The first call of action for my administration is to stage a unity conference within the first 100 days and revive the spirit of 1998. The towns and cities of Puntland, regions and communities will all be represented in this conference, and through wide-ranging consultations we shall prevail and reach a mutual consensus and agreement on the nature of Puntland state we want to create as we have achieved in 1998. Unity can only be achieved through equality of citizens and the regions and through the distribution of resources fairly. Inequality and cronyism erodes the very fabric that binds communities together. Unity can be achieved through job creation and economic growth. Unity can be achieved when all Puntlanders feel that they have a stake in this state, and only then will they battle for the viability of a state where their individual and collective progress is attached to. The state of Puntland is blessed with cosmic natural resources and the longest coast in Somalia. The economic potential of this land is vast and untapped due to a lack of knowledge or know-how. Encouraging inward investment from the outside world and the diaspora communities is a key priority for my administration. The main element of creating a thriving economic environment is peace and tranquility, an atmosphere that's conducive for investment. Investing in the infrastructure of Puntland is a vital part of encouraging inward investment to this region. The rehabilitating of roads, the expansion of the ports, and the involvement of airports are the gateway to attracting capital and direct investment. This will be an administration that supports and encourages entrepreneurship and business development. To facilitate the delivery of economic development and essential services, it's incumbent on the citizens of Puntland to contribute their fair share to the progress of the state. That's the essence of a social contract. The citizen contributes to the revenue of the state, while the state utilizes these resources to create and produce services that meet the needs of its citizens. This administration will build a trust between citizens and the state by operating in a transparent manner where the budget and expenditure is in the public domain and open to scrutiny for all. Distinguished guests, our vision is bold, and the pathway to our goal is education. Free education for all primary school children within this 5-year term was a pledge that I made during the election and reiterated after the election. I remain fully committed to this promise and will ensure that the Minister of Education deliver on this pledge. A quote comes to mind: education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. The future we envision, that which the citizens of Puntland desire, lies in mass education. Development lies in our people attaining the knowledge and the know-how, and supplementing that with external expertise where we lack the proficiency locally. Puntland has to produce a generation of young men and women who are educated through a unified curriculum, a generation that's prepared for and geared toward the workplace of tomorrow. The people of Puntland expect tangible changes, and this is measured most markedly in the ability of this state to deliver social services in the area of health, education, and development for women. Water, sanitation, and health are a priority for this administration. A frail physique is an obstacle to individual growth and improvement. We will develop a clear plan of action to improve water sanitation in the state of Puntland and improve access all across the state. However, the development of Puntland without building the human capital in this region is unattainable. The two are intertwined. Critically, the development of human capital is interwoven with the development of women. The mothers and daughters of Puntland hold the key to unlocking the potentials of this vast landscape. My administration will champion the rights of women and support their empowerment and break barriers where they exist. Their participation in the public space is a necessity. We need their input, expertise, and ideas. I am committed wholeheartedly to this pledge and will stand for this principle throughout this term. And yet, the challenges are great. As cliché as it sounds, in the Somali context, the rebuilding of the security sector is of a paramount nature. The welfare and protection of citizens is the foremost and first duty of the state. The threat of Al-Shabaab and piracy present a risk beyond the Somali borders and a menace to the neighboring countries and the international trade. This administration will carry forward a zero-tolerance policy on crime and crime syndicates, whether they are jihadis on the ground or criminals who take to the high seas. But there are other pressing issues. Let's speak frankly regarding federalism and the relation between Puntland state and the federal government. Puntland has never rejected the idea of Somali unity and stood for those principles since 1991, while the South Central was entangled in a web of warrism and subsequently extremism and international terrorism. Puntland sent her able-bodied sons to aid their brethren in the South, to alleviate their suffering and put their lives on the line to face down the psychosis of Al-Shabaab and its affiliates. Going forward, we have to develop a framework of mutual respect between Puntland and the federal government. The state of Puntland, as the founding state of the federal government of Somalia, deserves its respect and consultation on Somalia-related affairs. Attempts at marginalizing the state of Puntland directly contravene the spirit of the roadmap process that produced this permanent federal government and ended the transition, where all the regions of Somalia were signatories to the process with non-exclusion. The people of Somalia yearn for unity, for cooperation between the center and the periphery, for the people to come together under an amalgamated system. Excellencies, we are proposing a new social contract to the people of Puntland today. This administration will work to serve the needs of our people. The next budget will be an inclusive one that depicts both the administrative and social needs of the entire Puntland state. Equally, each district and region will have its own budget and responsibility to contribute to the needs of its inhabitants. To meet the current economic challenges, we have to revisit our taxation and revenue collection policies. It's a collective obligation that demands a collective participation. And while we expect international help and assistance, we must rely on ourselves to finance the bulk of our state affairs to the best of our abilities by prioritizing the use of our limited resources. The social contract is that we, the administration, will be responsive to the needs of our citizens, and the citizens must be responsive and play their role in the building of the future of Puntland. My promise to the people of Puntland is that in January 2019, they, the citizens of Puntland, will elect the president directly. One man, one vote. Again, democracy in its essence. The citizens of Puntland will hold my administration accountable to this promise and facilitate the means. The state of Puntland belongs to us all. And a viable Puntland state is in the best interest of Somalia and the future of our nation. After nearly 2 decades and the long years of vacuum and the absence of a central state, Somalia stands at the critical juncture today. We were elected on a mandate of change as per our campaign platform, and executing this requires a brave, responsive leadership that's not afraid of the tough decisions. The state of Puntland is reaching maturity and geared toward the next stage of development. My vision for Puntland is one where the state extends its services beyond Bosaso-Galkayo corridor. One where state institutions reach Alula, Bohole, and all the regions of Puntland. The sons and daughters of Puntland deserve a better future once they complete a higher education. Let's create a Puntland where every child is in a safe and secure living environment with full access to quality education and universal health care. A Puntland where our children are able to fulfill their potential. A Puntland that's united and peaceful. A Puntland where the rule of law is respected, human rights are upheld. A Puntland that charts the path of economic and human development. A Puntland that has evolved past the dependency cycle and matured into a state that utilizes its money resources equally and fairly. A Puntland where infant mortality and poverty are reduced. A Puntland that leads the way and sets an example and precedent for our brothers and sisters elsewhere in Somalia to follow and emulate. Through cooperation, grit, determination, and hard work, this vision can and will materialize into reality. Together, we can achieve much against all odds. Let us act as one. Thank you very much.
I understand that there's some problem, and I'm not too blind to know all the pain you kept inside you, even though you might not show. If I can apologize for being wrong, then it's just a shame on me. I'll be the reason for your pain, and you can put the blame on me. Said you could put the blame on me. Said you could put the blame on me. Said you could put the